said she would buy the flowers herself. Hey everybody, it's me, Miz Cracker, dressed as Carmen Sandiego today for some reason, and you are watching High Tea, the show where we talk about everything that has to do with anything that has to do with RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 1. Today, I have two incredible guests with me, and they're very funny comedians. And they have alliterative names. We have Jurden, and we also have Gabe Gonzalez. So last week, we lost Crystal.
And I was very upset because in the gay community, we love Crystal.
We can't get enough of her.
She knows. She knows too, right?
For me, I think the reason she went is because of that lack of confidence. Yeah. She had so much going for her, but she didn't feel herself, and so other people couldn't feel her. But enough about last week. It is time to move on to this week. And of course, we start with some drama.
Ooh, okay, so the Vivian was in the bottom two, and last week she was just a Vivian. She's trying to become the Vivian again.
Yeah. In my mind, she's implying that Davina DeCampo is not stellar. She's just a red wig and a silver dress.
The Vivian and a Vivian are saying, I've seen you do work outside of this space and I wasn't impressed with it. When I saw you here, I was finally impressed with your drag, which is a compliment and a critique and an insult, which is really just how gay people speak.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes.
You know, I do think Davina, the way it looked, it's like she took it maybe a bit too personally.
Yeah.
But I totally feel that. Like, if you were killing it the way Davina does, and people were constantly underestimating you the entire competition, and you had that laugh, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And if you have the most credits out of all the girls.
Which she loves listing, and I would too if I had them. I wouldn't even criticize.
A tone.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Now, before we start the day, we have to do the mini challenge.
They had to choose whether or not a person was wearing briefs, boxers, or commando.
Yeah.
And the commando surprise was that they were wearing camo underwear.
We're on the BBC, this is Europe. Maybe they're gonna show some like, yes. Literally clutching my boyfriend in bed, being like, I wanna see someone else's penis. And then they gave us camo. Like, I thought we were getting full royal family jewels, and what we got was Duck Dynasty. I was so disappointed.
How are we supposed to know this show actually takes place in the UK if we can't see foreskin or not?
Right. Enough of that. Damn it, we've talked about the past. It's time for the main challenge. And the main challenge this week is for the girls to make an advertisement for their own brand of water.
An advertisement.
An advertisement. Let's think about Cheryl Hole. Rue is very upfront about saying, you have won nothing
No badge.
from me.
Blue Hydrangea went first.
Yeah.
Just by herself. No Brit crew, just a black robe, and then a reveal that was an outfit that the water gives you, I assume, confidence.
Yeah, we also got some like vague hand job jokes and maybe like a little blowing. I get it, I know the joke sometimes works, but that's like the last gasp for water, air, I don't know. It's like, if you don't have many jokes, it's like, let me just jerk off this water bottle.
It wasn't smart water.
It wasn't smart water, there we go, yeah.
Davina DeCampo did a very good job. Even Graham Norton said that this is a production. This seems to be a lot. We only have this many minutes left, but the final product did show that she'd pull out thought into her script.
There was like BBC going on, there was the C pun, there was her name being in it. That confidence came out today, and she was like several steps ahead. She knew it was okay that no one was laughing now because she had her eye on the prize. That brings us to
Bag of chips. I thought that it was okay. It's a chip and fish flavored water, which sounds about as good as the commercial.
we have Cheryl Hole.
Middle of the pack, which out of 5 people, can't be the case anymore because at this point in the competition, you're either top 2 or you're bottom 3.
Yeah.
The concept was a lot of fun at first, dancing diva drink. We got those like weird witchy fingers, which I loved. I love that they couldn't just cut between. We had to see her find them. But yeah, I think the ending didn't quite bring it together.
It ended with half-naked boys dancing, which is great.
I
but
don't
then
mind, yeah.
it also ended with Cheryl doing another duck walk, doing another dancing kind of party Essex girl moment, and everyone kind of goes, oh,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
is there something else? Especially just for this commercial. If that's you, then how do we elevate it?
Let's talk about Vivienne's, which was confusing to me because for me, to use your word, I thought it was very middle of the pack.
It was a nod to her colloquial RuPaulisms, like as a
She
Scouser.
loves doing, she's referenced sort of the Scouser look before, I think on the runway, but I don't think we've seen her embody it for a challenge, so it was kind of exciting to see that come out as a comedic character. But I think you're right, it's funny that she told Cheryl that Cheryl's idea was kind of old and was just doing what she had done before, whereas I feel like the Vivienne brought a very, a very branded Vivienne kind of.
A polished, thought through,
Vivienne.
and finished
Yeah.
the Vivienne brand, but still very much in line with what we've seen.
It's time to get to my favorite part of the whole show, the runway. The girls are gonna show their creativity, uniqueness, nerve, and talent in a rainy day eleganza runway.
Yes.
Let's talk about Cheryl Hole. For me, I don't know if it was the greatest runway ever, but I would live my entire life if I had the silver rain jacket set.
I love the Barbarella in the rain moment. I
Yeah.
loved the metallic aspect of it. I loved
Yeah.
the angles. I didn't notice that it was quote unquote unfinished until Graham Norton pointed it out. Like I couldn't see it when I was watching.
It wasn't like there was a sliver of panty showing. She had a full panty showing, so it felt intentional to me.
And I just wish she had taken off the jacket, but I thought it looked sharp. It was a sharp look from Cheryl, and she had great presence this time.
The Vivienne came as a rainy day. I thought this was really great. Michelle clocks people for the silhouette all the time. I kind of wanted a little more like, instead of like, but yeah, I loved the face, all of that, and her makeup was very fierce.
I think the reason it was surprising, or I think they gave her so many props, is that it wasn't what we were used to seeing from the Vivienne, right? Last week, I thought her look was very well put together, very impressive, but because it looked like so much of what she had worn before, or maybe almost too polished, the judges kind of dinged her for it. They were like, we want to see something new.
Absolutely.
But I think if only because it was such a departure from what we're used to, it was very impressive on that runway.
I want to talk about Bag of Crisps.
Yes.
How do you feel about her?
Yeah. Baga to me looked like an aunt I have that lives in Miami that like showed up a half hour late to the baptism in a hurricane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she's got that Thea haircut. Like her name could easily be Maritza.
Yeah.
She didn't realize her umbrella got caught in her hair.
Yeah.
The duck was a gift. Like it's
And she's not even really a Thea, she's just your mom's friend.
Yes. No blood relation. She's just showing up for the party. Yeah.
She did look a bit like a martini glass, and it was a pantsuit again. There was this illusion of rain. The rubber ducky was a cute kind of cheeky nod.
Sure, yeah.
And I think that as the comedy queen, out of these 5, she nailed that look for her.
Totally, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Davina DeCampo. She was not going to get hit by a car in this outfit. Let's say that right away.
I think the notorious DDC did a very good job with this outfit because she went rain slicker, nod to the rain, umbrella, came out first, big reveal. And the reveal was it's gonna be a more polished rain look. So it's gonna be a corset, we're still gonna have elements of that yellow leather, which is a vocal warm-up, but it's still her drag, red wig, and I mean, she got high praise from the judges.
Yeah, I wanted that silhouette to be a little tighter. I think she added bulk to herself. It was slicker, yes, but was it slick-est? Do you know what I mean?
And she was dressed a little bit like the Morton Salt Girl, and she was the
look
saltiest
at
queen.
Okay, silence. Last but not least, we have to talk about Blue Hydrangea. Now, she blew it in the challenge.
When I saw her commercial, I said, H2O, no, she wet a dome.
What do we think about her runway? What do we think about
I
her
loved
runway?
it. It was very kawaii, cute girl. It was very 2019 drag in the sense that it played with like eye illusion. You had fun colors, you had iridescence, you had an aesthetic that's both Instagram friendly but also would look really fun in person.
I love the buns. The new makeup that we're seeing on her was really fun.
Right.
Also a great departure from what we're used to, yeah.
All right, enough of that. Let us talk about the final cut on the commercials.
I thought that Davina DeCampo basically showed us that whatever you think is going on when you see the first edit, do not pay attention to it because it came out so well done. It was the one that had different locations. She used the Brit coup very effectively, and then she also had humor. She also had a message. It was good. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I have to second what you said, just that it was like Wagner, a total artwork for DDC. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just like it had it all, which is, why I was kind of surprised that it is the Vivienne who takes the day.
I thought Davina DeCampo was going to win because it was going to be the challenge. We basically understand that now Davina is on the rise, and the Vivian has to say, not only do I take back my words, I'm going to have to eat some crow. You did very well.
But as you know, wherever there are tops, there are hopefully some bottoms. We have Cheryl Hole and Blue Hydrangea in the bottom.
I did think Baga was gonna be in the bottom this time around. I don't know if I saw the strength there that the judges saw between the commercial and the look.
Yeah.
The bottom three all deserve to be in the bottom three. I think that the reason that Cheryl Hole and Blue Hydrangea were gonna have to lip sync was because these were the two that had not shown the most over the course of the competition. They didn't have anything to rest on.
And how are you not gonna have Cheryl Hole lip sync in front of Cheryl Cole?
What did we think of the lip sync? I thought it was the best that we've had so far.
It's clear they both knew the lyrics and Cheryl knew the hell out of them. What I think is super gaggy is that backstage Baga was like, I don't know the words, I'm not gonna learn the song, I don't know the words. And then every
Oh my God,
time,
it's like she's here, you nailed
literally,
it.
I'm a tiny bag of chips. But what's funny is when you see her in the background, Baga is like lip syncing the whole song.
I loved the fact that we got to see Cheryl Hole be the diva that she says she is, be the dancing queen that everyone says she is, be the Essex girl that she says she is.
Skirt! It's time for us to do our weekly segment, which is called The Queen's English. Today we're not going to talk about vocab, we're going to talk about culture. And we had a lovely lady from Girls Aloud, so let's learn a little bit about them. Girls Aloud was the heir apparent to Spice Girl, and they have sold over 4 million copies of some of their albums, and they had 20 top 10 singles in the UK consecutively.
The song Call My Name was everywhere when I first moved to New York, and I realized Cheryl was part of a girl group. She had gone solo. She was pulling a Jerry Halliwell. Like, Girls Aloud really did follow the Spice Girls trajectory to a T. Cheryl is just fantastic.
I love a white Destiny's Child. That's my go-to. Listen, I appreciate UK's Fate's daughter, I guess.
Fate's daughter?
I'm a big fan.
If you love Cheryl Cole, you should really read her new memoir. It's called Cole, My Name. It's touching. So, of course, one girl has to go, and the girl that goes home is Blue Hydrangea.
With the disheveled buns. So the Sailor Moon buns fell out as she was lip syncing for her life. The buns lost theirs, and
you couldn't have given her a moment to put them back together.
No,
before she said goodbye.
They want to push you out that day. You gotta go back to Northern Ireland.
This is what I want to know. Who do you think is in the lead at this point in the game, and who do you think should just be thrown down a trapdoor? What's going on?
Okay, so my answers for who's in the lead are different, right? Because I think the judges clearly favor Vivienne, and I think she's had a very clear trajectory to be the winner, a very sure, safe path at the top. But I can't help but start rooting for Davina. I think Davina has brought us so much context for like what drag has been like and what it's like now. I also think she brings a nice balance of humor, great runway looks, and just, kind of like the overall, I think Baga said it today, she's the total package, right?
Unless Cheryl Hole blows all of us away, we know that it's gonna be Davina DeCampo, Baga Chips, and the Vivian.
I like the top 4. I think we've come by this fairly, and I think these girls all have something to show. I've heard enough of these boys. Now I want to hear from you. Tweet at or towards me at LogoTV, and remember to use the hashtag DragRaceUK. Don't forget, tune in every Friday at 8/7 Central for Drag Race UK, and then immediately after that, join me, Miz Cracker, for High Tea on LogoTV.com or on Logo's YouTube. You guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I had a blast with you.
Thank you. Yeah. You can find me on social media, just at Jurden, all one word, JayJurden.
You can find me online, Twitter and Instagram using the handle Gaybones, GAYBONEZ. That's Baga with a Z.
Until next time, this has been High Tea. Thank you, boys.
Thank you.
Shablam.
Hey, squirrel friend, when one video ends, just open up another one. It's called binge viewing. Go ahead. I support you.